Good morning. Good morning. It's great to see so many of you out here today in this cold, crisp, great morning in East Texas. My name is Mark Rudin, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the president of Texas A&M University Commerce. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out and celebrating this important event for us. You know, I get to oversee a lot of different events at our university, but this one feels different. This is really an opportunity for the university to celebrate the groundbreaking of two facilities that will rapidly accelerate our mission of becoming the institution of choice in Northeast Texas and really contribute to the economic vitality and fabric of the community in which we reside. And so during the 87th Texas legislative session, legislation was passed that provided A&M Commerce with $44.9 million of financing under a program referred to as Capital Construction Assistant Projects to build these two facilities. The first one, which will be located on this site, is the Agricultural Multipurpose Education and Training Center. Phase one of this project will consist of a multi-purpose facility with space for classrooms, meeting spaces, events, expos, and office areas. It also includes a performance arena, a practice arena, and 2 stall barns for rodeos and animal shows. Each stall barn could hold approximately 104 stalls, but it is flexible and can be taken down as needed. Future phases of this project will include institutional and research space for animal science, food science, equine studies, and agricultural education. The second facility that is a game changer for our university is the Ted and Donna Lyon Game Bird Research Center, or Center for Game Bird Research. Phase one of this, and this will be located across the highway on 24. Phase one of this project will consist of a super quail complex that will include a quail production facility, a quail grow out building, and a quail training facility. These efforts will produce affordable game birds with wild type survivability and a more stringent thermal tolerance to better survive in challenging environments. Future phases of this project will include a game bird education building, a quail interactive experience, a quail research laboratory, a waterfowl research pavilion, and offices for students and faculty. Again, both facilities and both initiatives will greatly contribute to the economic development and vitality of this region in which we serve. Besides our guest speakers that you'll be hearing from shortly, we have to acknowledge, and it merits acknowledgement and recognition of other folks we have in the audience today. And please, I ask that you hold your applause until I mention all the names, and you can roaring applause after that if you'd like. So the first one is Ms. Sarah Butler, East Texas Regional Director for U.S. Senator John Cornyn. Sarah, just wave your hand there. Dr. Neil Madkin, President of Collin College, and Dr. Bill King, Executive VP of Collin College. I saw right there. Good to see you. Mr. Terry Thomas, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Greenville, around here somewhere. There you go. Mr. Brett Cully, Chief Facilities Officer for the Texas A&M University System, and also Mr. Brett Cumpton, Director of Facilities Construction within the system. We also have representatives from the various contractors that will be working on building this facility, particularly GH2 Architects, Jones DBR Engineering, JQ Engineering, and McGough Construction. And special thanks to McGough for funding the hard helmets that we're going to be using today in the groundbreaking. I'd like to also mention the current interim dean of Ag, Daryl Harp. I saw Daryl Harp around here. Randy Harp, previous dean. Dr. Kelly Reyna, who is the director of our Center for Game Bird Research and nationally renowned expert in quail research. I thought I saw Teddy Reel somewhere, our Commerce mayor. There you go, Teddy. Good to see you. Brenda Morris. I have to give a shout out to Brenda Morris. Where'd Brenda go? She's the one that put this all on. So I know she's hiding somewhere. Thank you so much, Brenda. And then a very special thanks goes out to Ted and Donna Lyon, who have made outstanding financial contributions, particularly to the, as you can guess, the Ted and Donna Lyon Center for Game Bird Research. but our relationship with Mr. Lyon goes much deeper than that. And Ted, I'd just like to thank you and Donna, but particularly you and the advice and counsel and just friendship we've shared over the years. So on behalf of the university, thank you so much for all the VIPs. Can you please give them a hand? Thank you. Okay, on with the program. We are honored today to have one of our Board of Regents members with us, Mr. John Ballinger. Mr. Ballinger was appointed as a member of the Board of Regents by Governor Abbott in 2023. Mr. Ballinger is the former CEO of Food Safety Net Services, referred to as FS&S, and now serves as a board member of the recently merged company between FS&S and the Certified Group, along with several companies in the US, Mexico, and Japan that focus on livestock and the food industry. Mr. Ballinger is the CEO of AgriWest International and Bellinger Development. Mr. Ballinger is a member of the Texas A&M University College of Agricultural Development Council and the Animal Science External Advisory Council. He is a former recipient of the Texas A&M University Outstanding Alumnus of Animal Science and the College of Agriculture, and has been inducted into the U.S. Meat Industry Hall of Fame. Please help me welcome to the stage Regent John Ballinger.
Thank you, Mark. That was my dad you were talking about, Mr. I'm John. It's an honor to be here today. I've been wanting to come up here for some time, and with my background, when I saw the ag building, I said, I'm going, and just thrilled to be here. Very, very special. Look, agriculture is very near and dear to me. I'm your primary regent, and I'm a rookie regent. I'm the only one with an ag background, more or less. And just want to tell you a little bit more about myself. I was an ag ed major, undergraduate, first generation to go to college, and I was going to be an ag teacher. And just tell you a little bit, I had 3 mentors in life, and it's a lot for the students who are looking for mentors, and for those of you who want to be mentors. These 3 mentors changed my life, and they were all involved in agriculture. My grandfather was the first one, Alois Kaloji. He was a incredible man, had to quit school after the 3rd grade because he had to work on a farm. And he was the smartest man I ever met in my life. And it was because of agriculture. He taught me the basics of agriculture, of milking cows, slopping pigs, opening gates, hauling grain, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the first part of my life where I learned to love ag. We grew up on a small farm, but he made a living off 500 acres of dry farming. And you talk about, that's impossible today. How they did it is unheard of. My next ag mentor in life was my ag teacher, Albert Usner. And Randy, you probably remember Albert Usner. He was an incredible ag teacher. He took me under his wings. He knew that I didn't know anything about college. My parents, of course, didn't go. And he got me involved in meat judging and FFA and raising steers. And he was the one that said, and he was a Red Raider. And he said, John, you need to go to A&M and be on the meat judging team there. And I just, I'm going to do what my ag teacher says. And that's what I did. And went on to A&M, thanks to Albert. My next mentor in life when I got to A&M was Dr. Gary Smith. Dr. Smith was probably the renowned meat scientist in the world and just one of the neatest people I ever met. He still is retired. He just retired from Texas A&M. And Dr. Smith was a true mentor. I was headed to teach ag in Fredericksburg, Texas, and Dr. Smith detoured me. We won the state meat judging contest in FFA in Fredericksburg, and he gave me an assistantship. And so I did not teach ag as much as I loved teaching. But Dr. Smith was a true mentor, never, ever asked for anything and was always giving things in return. The common denominator in all those mentors is agriculture, and that's why we're here today. The three of them developed my passion and love for ag. So students, go find a mentor. And those of you who have the ability to mentor, help those students like those three helped me. What a special place A&M Commerce is here today. This is the only place in Northeast Texas where we're going to have a facility like this in agriculture. And agriculture is not going to go away, guys. You're going to have everything else in 50 years is going to be changed. Ag is going to change, but we still have to eat. And this is the foundation of life. And this is so critical for all of Texas and certainly for Northeast Texas. People in agriculture are salt of the earth people. And as you go through life, you want to drift back. You know, we had meat food testing labs, and they were fun and all. And now that I'm slowly moving, I'm moving back to cattle and horses. And it's just because of those people are salt in the earth. And it's just a special, special group of people. Look, I can't thank the Texas legislature enough and the Lyon family for contributing and believing in agriculture. These funds are going to build a great building. And it's going to house the future leaders of agriculture. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this special history at A&M Commerce.
Regent Ballinger, thank you so much. You know, I've only known Regent Ballinger for a year or so now. And what strikes me is that how student-focused, how student-centric, how student-friendly he is. So thank you so much for those remarks, especially in the ag area. And I was remiss that I perhaps did not introduce the most important group here today, and that's our students. Can our students at least raise? I know we have students over there. Can you help me? Our next speaker today is the Chancellor of the Texas A&M University System, John Sharp. He was appointed by as Chancellor of the Texas A&M University System by the Board of Regents in 2011. Chancellor Sharp leads one of the largest systems in the country with an annual budget over $7.8 billion and an enrollment of more than 153,000 students at 11 system universities. Additionally, under the system umbrella, there are 8 state agencies. Chancellor Sharp brings with him more than 3 decades of public service. He was elected to I'm reading as fast as I can here. The bio will be available in back if you need to see that. Welcome, Chancellor Sharp.
Howdy. Well, welcome to the fastest growing university in the state of Texas right now. That represents excellent choices by a whole bunch of students that are here. And Regent Ballinger is exactly right. This is the only place that a student in the state of Texas can come in North and Northeast Texas to get a degree in agriculture. And if you think agriculture is old-fashioned, you know nothing about the new agriculture. As long as you folks want to eat, agriculture is going to be important. And it's morphing into nutrition. It's morphing into rewriting the food pyramid for Americans and all kinds of things. And there will never be a better time for agriculture than exists right now. But I have some people I want to thank. First of all, I want to thank the Board of Regents, and particularly this regent, John Ballinger, who the other regents do defer to when it comes to agriculture issues. Thank them for allowing us to request this in the first place. I want to thank the members of the legislature, Brian Hughes, state senator, as well as Angela Paxton. I want to thank Jill Dutton. I want to thank Cole Hefner. I want to thank Gary Van Dever for all of their help in this, getting this $45 million. Might as well round it off to $45 million. And by the way, I asked Rudin what he wanted me to talk about, and he said, I want you to talk about 2 minutes. And so I get that. But it's important to thank these people for what they did, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here to begin with. So thank y'all for what you do. And I also want to thank Donna and Ted Lyon. Ted and I served in the state Senate together 2 lifetimes ago, something like that. We have been chasing the elusive bobwhite quail from one end of the state to the other. We hunted them in the Triangle Ranch in the Panhandle, all the way down to the Kennedy Ranch in South Texas. And we don't brag, but we think we're pretty good shots on quail. So Ted and Donna, thank you for the largest gift in the history of Texas A&M Commerce that you've made. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So this place expects that over just the next few years, over 1,000 new students that are going to be coming here. Let me tell you how important the quail part is to this. That's an $8 billion enterprise for the state of Texas. That's what it brings into the economy of the state of Texas. And we've had about an 80% decline in quail populations since the 1960s. So it's getting a little harder and harder to find them. What this center is going to do is figure out ways to reverse that. The other thing that's going to happen is those of you who are quail hunters will be able to come here, and Brother Kelly Reyna is going to have some little fake hawks and things like that in there and train these birds. And so you'll be able to buy boxes of birds, take it to your farm or ranch or whatever, and hunt them. And you won't be able to tell the difference between these birds and wild birds, except these birds will be harder to hit. It's going to be, and that's what's going to sustain this center, because they're going to make revenues from that. And I want to tell you a little bit about the Super Quail Complex, which what it's going to be called. And phase 1 is going to provide an affordable game bird with wildlife type survivability and more stringent thermal tolerance. One thing we found out is bobwhite quail eggs don't do well when it's over about 105 degrees, and we tend to get over that a little bit. And so we're going to find different strains of quail that are going to work better. Phase 2 is going to be a game bird education building, quail interactive experience, research laboratory, waterfowl research pavilion, offices for students. If quail come back in the state of Texas in the next years, it is going to be because of this agricultural facility that's being built at Texas A&M Commerce, I guarantee you. And this agriculture complex that's going to be built here is going to be one of the best in the United States. And we're going to train young men and women to do things with agriculture, from genetics to everything else that we're only dreaming about right now, and producing better livestock, producing more fertile livestock, and all kinds of things like that. And so to the members of the legislature and the Board of Regents that made this possible, thank you for bringing cutting edge agriculture back to Texas. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chancellor. So we are fortunate today to be joined by Senator Brian Hughes. Senator Hughes is serving his 3rd term in the Texas Senate, representing 19 counties of Senate District 1 in Northeast Texas. Senator Hughes continues to be an outstanding advocate for A&M Commerce in the Texas Senate, and played such a major role in us securing this money. Please help me welcome Senator Hughes.
President Rudin, thank you so much. My name is Brian Hughes. Many of us have met before. This is a great program today, and I'm not going to mess it up. I'll tell you like Liz Taylor told her 9th husband, I won't keep you long, all right? I just want to say, I'm just here to say thank you to those who made this possible, and congratulations. This university is a special place. I don't have to tell you that. Of course, it's in Representative Dutton's district. My district, it starts one county over, but so many alumni. My goodness, I think every one of my teachers in high school and all the way through, products of this university. Its impact regionally and statewide is hard to measure, and it's just growing. It's just getting greater, a whole lot more because of what's happening here today. So it's a joy for me to get to be here. When we think about what happens here, we think about higher education. There's a lot of different metaphors people use. If I'm using the wrong term, if there are any professors here, you can correct me later privately. But we compare education to different things. But for higher education, it really is like a backstage pass, isn't it? it gets you in places that you can't get without it. And it's not just that piece of paper, but it's that experience, what you learn from your peers, from your classmates, from the experiences. You change. It makes you a different person. And of course, economically, what does it mean for our region, for those students? It changes families. It changes families for generations. And so it's a uniquely American dream kind of thing we celebrate today. Of course, we're in this beautiful place, this beautiful part of the world we get to live in. We think about research, think about agriculture, think about these quail. We are studying God's creation, and we're unlocking more and more of his wisdom and his love for us. And we're just reminded of how much he loves us and all the things that he gives us. Let me say to the alumni, I know Ted Conover is here, a faithful A&M Commerce alumni who's gotten things going in Tyler and around the state. And Ted is, I would have helped anyway, but I had to vote for this because Ted Conover reminded me about it every time I saw him. And of course, we love him and love this institution. It's a joy to get to be here. I just want to say thank you for all of this. Senator, thank you for your generosity. You didn't have to do that. That's one of the unique things about America. Compare America to any place in the world, and nobody even comes close in terms of charitable contributions and hours donated. Nobody is even close. Nobody forced you to do that, but God's blessed you and you want to bless others. And as far as the legislative funding goes, I'll say this. We went through a transition last year on the way that higher education is funded, and there was talk about not having as much money or not enough money, but a lot of people worked hard to get this done. And so I'm thankful to be here. It's an honor to get to represent you. You're going to hear from Representative Dutton, Representative Van Diver, Representative Hefner in a moment. But I just want to say to everybody involved, congratulations. And to all who contributed to make this happen, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Hughes. We are happy to be joined today by Representative Jill Dutton. Representative Dutton was sworn into office on February 14, 2024, as our state representative for Texas House District 2. She has visited our campus a number of times, and it becomes obvious that she is an excellent, outstanding proponent of education at all levels. Please help me welcome Representative Jill Dutton.
Yeah, I'm the rookie legislator or representative here this morning, but thank you so much for having me. I represent Hunt, Hopkins, and Van Zandt counties, and I'm honored to have been invited and to be able to participate in this morning's groundbreaking. First, I want to commend and congratulate and thank the legislators like Representative Gary Van Diver and Senator Brian Hughes for all of their work to accomplish today and to make this complex a reality, but also the administrators like Matt Parson and Jenny Jones and Dr. Mark Rudin, but also, of course, Ted and Donna Lyon for your generous donations. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done to make this a reality. As demonstrated by everybody who's participating, this is obviously going to be very important for our agriculture here in this district and for the Texas economy. Texas leads the nation in the number of farms and ranches, and agriculture is a key driver in the Texas economy. And yet the average age for the Texas rancher and farmer is 60 years old. And unfortunately, that's growing every year. It was only about 100 years ago that Texas, in our education, agriculture was closely aligned with our curriculum and education in the classroom, but especially in East Texas, where students lived on family farms and in small towns, and they did chores before and after school. And that's not so much anymore, especially in the city areas and the urban areas. But out here in East Texas, it was very, very important. And our curriculum and our calendar was closely aligned with the harvesting and planting seasons. But in 1981, the U.S. Department of Agriculture launched an initiative of agricultural literacy. And today we have a flourishing, in-depth, and focused education system found right here in Texas. But in 2020, we saw something emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, it was unexpected, but a significant outcome in the search of local food and the demand for quality, for organic, and sustainable. But to that end, the key to building that sustainable outcome is agriculture and education and higher education to train the next generation of agriculture industry professionals and researchers. Northeast Texas is proud to claim that Texas A&M University Commerce is home to one of the fastest growing agriculture programs in Texas. Today, we celebrate that groundbreaking of their latest endeavor to attract and inspire the next generation of Texas farmers and ranchers in this time-honored industry we call Texas agriculture. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Representative Dutton. We are thrilled to welcome one of our alums and dear friend, Dr. Gary Van Dever. Representative Van Dever is currently serving in his 5th term representing District 1 in the Texas House. Representative Van Dever has served on the House Committee on Public Education and on the House Committee on Appropriations, where he serves as the chairman for the subcommittee on Article 3, overseeing appropriations for all public and higher education in the state of Texas. Gary truly has been a friend to this university and a supporter of this university. And Gary can be a little bit modest, but I can't tell you what a central role he played in the university receiving these funds being appropriated from the legislature. So again, Gary, thank you for everything. And please help me welcome Dr. Gary Van Dever.
Thank you, Dr. Rudin, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this great celebration today. Chancellor Sharp and Regent Bellinger, thank you guys for your continued support of this university. It's very dear to me, very dear to the people here today, and really to the entire region of North and East Texas. This is important. Dr. Rudin and Dr. Randy Harp, as we work to secure the funding for this wonderful facility, it was really your vision for the facility and the impact that it'll have on students that really drove those discussions and drove the funding that was allocated for this facility. You know, I actually came to know Dr. Harp when he was actually Mr. Harp. He was a temporary instructor, fresh out of college with a master's degree, and I was just a kid from Clarksville High School over in Red River County, whose view of the world consisted of what lay between the Red and the Sulphur Rivers, and that's about all I knew. And I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to take a meat science class under Dr. Harp, Mr. Harp at the time, around 1980. You know, that was a time that due to, lack of facilities, lack of funding, we had to make do with some substandard equipment. And, but again, Dr. Harp made that work. I got a great experience. Learned a lot about the food supply chain and the industry, and really learned things there that has served me well throughout my life. And now, some 40 years later, it's tremendously important that students learn in a modern facility where food safety and security are paramount. It was the spring of 1981 that I graduated from what was then East Texas State University with a degree in agricultural education. And as we consider the changes and the growth here, and this project in particular, for those of you from that era, I find myself wondering what Buck Hughes would say today. And those of you who were here when Buck Hughes was here, I know that brings a smile to your face, and we probably can't repeat what we think he would say about the university today and the growth that we've seen. But, I think about Dr. Arnold and Dr. Jones and Drs. Horton and Jenkins and Wolf. And, I'm convinced that if those men were here today, they would be amazed at the growth of this university. They would be amazed at this new state-of-the-art educational complex that we're celebrating today. They'd also be amazed that I actually got a job when I graduated, I think. Some of them had their doubts. While it's fun to reminisce about the past, today's really about the future. What does today mean for the future of agriculture, especially here in North and East Texas? Well, today marks the beginning of the advanced game bird research that has been talked about earlier, and the impact that will have throughout the state. This facility represents the opportunity for hands-on learning in all fields of agriculture. It will be in the classrooms and under the roof of these facilities that tomorrow's agricultural leaders, and especially ag science teachers, will gain the knowledge and skills necessary to impact the future of agriculture. But for me, one of the most exciting things that today represents, and that this facility will provide, is the opportunity for young FFA and 4-H students from across Texas to visit this university, to see the great programs that are offered here, and to meet the outstanding faculty. Because you never know when one of those kids might be a kid from a small high school like Clarksville, from a poor county like Red River, might step on this campus and realize this is where dreams begin. To the entire Lion family, congratulations on a wonderful day. May God bless this university. May God continue to bless Texas. Thank you.
Representative Van Dever, thank you so much for your remarks. Our next guest is Representative Cole Hefner. Representative Hefner has been representing the people of Texas House District 5, just next door, since 2017. Currently, Representative Hefner is a member of the Public Education Committee, Ways and Means Committee, Select Committee on Educational Opportunity and Enrichment, and Calendars Committee. Representative Hefner has been a great advocate for us, and I find myself, when I do visit Austin and visit the legislature, I always check in with to seek counsel with Representative Hefner, just a good guy. Please help me welcome Representative Hefner to the stage.
Well, after Gary's speech, I kind of sad I have to follow that. Gary, it's a good job. Well, thank you all for having me today. I represent 6 counties, kind of east and south of here, and but a lot of people from my district come to school here and get to benefit from these opportunities. But I grew up there in Pittsburgh, Texas. If you can tell my accent, the no H, Pittsburgh without the H. And I was homeschooled, but I had the opportunity to have a job from the time I was 11 years old with my granddad. And we took care of 5,000 peach trees. We had watermelons and blackberries and all kinds of food that you could think of that we got to learn how to grow that food, to care for it, and to harvest it, and just kind of learn where it came from. I also had my dad thought it'd be a good idea for us to have little Holstein calves when I was young that we fed on the bottle. He thought that was good character building. And looking back, it was I was talking to somebody last night, my pastor, about my granddad had these sayings about how he knew everything that was going on in the peach field, and that he don't miss anything, he knows everything. And I think back to those opportunities that at the time I thought I was being punished, out in the summertime, having to pick blackberries and do those things. But looking back, it was such an awesome experience. And I wished I could go back at this age and relive it because I have such a great appreciation for that. But not everybody gets that opportunity. And so I think it's ever more important in today's life that we have agricultural programs that kids can come and learn, and that there is a future, there's a career, you can be very successful in agriculture, and it's so important to our lives. I mean, it's literally like Mr. Bellinger said, we like to eat, and so it's the most important thing that we can do. And so I just want to, like Brian said, I heard from from Ted Conover very often and Dr. Rudin. We had some meetings in Tyler when we were first talking about this project. I will say, and in the House, the real quarterback for this funding of this project was Gary Van Dever being the subcommittee chairman. I was just glad to be there and kind of give him some moral support and help him where I could. But he's really the guy that got this across the line in the Texas House. And of course, Senator Hughes over in the Senate. But I just thank y'all for what you're doing. Congratulations. I'm just honored to be share the stage with people of this stature and to experience this with you guys. And so just want to congratulate you and thank you for having me here. And I look forward to working with you and watching this thing grow. Thank y'all.
Congressman Keith Self has been a great advocate and supporter of A&M Commerce since his election to the U.S. House of Representatives in 2022. He could not be here today. However, his Deputy District Director, Natalie Steinholtz, is bringing greetings on his behalf. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you for having me. Dear President Mark Rudin and Chancellor John Sharp, congratulations to you and the entire team, Texas A&M University Commerce community, on the groundbreaking ceremony for both the Agricultural Multi-Purpose Education and Training Center and the Ted and Donna Lyons Center for Game Bird Research. This ceremony is a milestone that marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter for the A&M Commerce Lions. I have no doubt that these two additions to your campus will be a valuable resource for educational and career opportunities for students interested in both agricultural and game bird studies. Once again, congratulations, and I wish you and the entire staff and student body continued growth and success. Congressman Keith Self.
Natalie, thank you so much. Well, we're down to two more VIPs, and those are our two students that will be visiting with us today. The first one is Addie Weil, an undergraduate student majoring in animal science and on the A&M Commerce Rodeo team. Addie, come on up.
Hello, my name is Addie Weil. Thank y'all for being here. I'm originally from Kansas, and I was recruited to come here by my rodeo coach, Damian White. Only way I really knew about this school. And my father was a rodeo coach at a junior college, and I had a lot of offers up there. But when it came time to choose my home for the next 4 years, I decided to go here, and I don't regret my decision at all. It's been awesome. I'm a sophomore here, and last year as a freshman, I finished second in the region in the breakaway roping, which advanced me to the College National Finals Rodeo in Casper, Wyoming. There, I finished 13th in the nation. That accomplishment would not have been possible without such incredible teachers and a coach that understand my seriousness with academics and with rodeo. I am currently also pro rodeoing, like I was at Houston and Austin, and as well as college rodeos, but I am animal science with a pre-vet concentration, so academics are also really important for me. So having teachers that are willing to let me go as long as, I complete all my assignments, take all my exams, do all my research has been such a blessing, and it's really a rarity to find that at a big university. So I've been very, very blessed with that. One day last semester, Coach White came out to the practice pen very excited about something. Wasn't really sure what, but was willing to hear him out. And he had the plans to this facility. And it's something that we'd heard about, and it's something we were all really excited about, but sometimes we can get caught up in what something is going to be and what we want it to be. So even though I was looking at the plans and hearing about all the stalls and the arenas and the awesome opportunities for advanced research outside of rodeo, it was still something I wasn't 100% sold on. To be here today is obvious proof that dreams do become reality. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so grateful for the Texas legislature and Van Dever for approving this. I can't wait to see what's going to happen, and I cannot wait until I'm here for this. So I'm hoping that maybe I can stick around for a couple of years and be here and, maybe get my master's if I don't get into vet school. But I'm so excited for this facility, and it's going to be a great place for our horses and for our cattle and for everything to be. I mean, they are the backbone of our operation. Without them, we wouldn't have a rodeo. So for them to have a good place to live that's out of the weather, as obvious by last week, and the hail and the rain and everything, it'll be really nice for them too. It's a family around here, and it's more than just an operation, and I'm so blessed to be here with y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much, Addie. Our next guest is Sherry Ivy, who is a graduate assistant in the biological and environmental sciences and a Lions Scholar, quail researcher, bringing perspective for the quail facility and the Center for Game Bird Research to the university. Sherry, are you here? Oh, here you go.
Oh God. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Audrey Ivy, and I'm a grad student here at TAMUC, majoring in biological sciences. I also got my undergrad completed here. I got my bachelor's in wildlife conservation, and it was my sophomore year that I met Dr. Reyna. Before meeting him, I knew next to nothing about quail. Despite that, though, I was still welcomed into the quail lab with open arms. With the quail lab, I've completed call counts at the Mike Hernandez Ranch in South Texas. I've assisted with lab tours, incubating quail eggs. I've cared for the quail that we have here in our animal holding facility. And I've also presented research at the statewide quail symposium hosted in Abilene, Texas last year. With all those experiences, I learned the significant role that quail have not only in the environment, but also the economy and a lot of people's childhoods, which unfortunately gets overlooked. However, I'm thrilled to be standing here today celebrating something so groundbreaking that will not only call attention to quail as an ecological powerhouse, but also help replenish their populations. The establishment of the Lions Center for Game Bird Research, while it was spearheaded by Dr. Reyna, it wouldn't be possible without the support of Chancellor Sharp, President Rudin, and our many generous donors. I want to give a special thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Ted and Donna Lyon, because it was their initial extremely generous donation that jump-started the inception of our new facility. I also want to give them a personal thanks from me as a student. I was the first recipient of the Ted and Donna Lyon Scholarship. So thank you both so much for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was very generous. I also want to give a special thanks to Dr. Reyna, Dr. Witt, and the rest of the quail crew for being so amazing to work with. And to you all, thank you for listening. It's been an honor.
Okay. You told me I have to do closing remarks, but I'm not going to do closing remarks. You guys heard just great speakers today, and the real reason why we're all here is the advancement of this and the advancement of the university. So now it's time to put people to work. I need to call people up for the official groundbreaking shoveling. And for the first group that's up here will be Regent John Bellinger, Chancellor Sharp, me, Senator Brian Hughes, Representative Jill Dutton, Representative Van Dever, Representative Cole Hefner, Ted Lyon, and Randy Harp. Could you please step forward?